All right, so I'm gonna give it maybe about 2 or 3 more minutes before I start, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I'm not one to try to hold people up, so I'll just be real brief because I think it just might be you two on here, and you ain't got to turn your cameras on. I'll just let this ride out for a little bit, and I'll put the recording up on Blackboard. So a few things that you guys should be mindful of as I'm getting ready to share my screen. Let me know if you can see the screen. It should be a PowerPoint. Okay, you can let me know in the chat if you see it. Now, this is important because you do have a pop quiz that is coming up. So make sure that you are signed up in the Remind app because the Remind app will let you know when the pop quiz will be available. As I rub my eye because it's pollen out here. So a few things. It's important for you to know about table 13.1, about Erickson's psychological stages of development. As adults, we go through 3 different stages. Okay, so it's important for you to really know the differences, the intimacy versus isolation, the generativity versus stagnation, and integrity versus despair. Okay, so make sure that you are reviewing that particular chart. Also, excuse me, pollen is out here crazy. But make sure that you are reviewing the social theories of aging, okay? Know the difference between activity theory and disengagement theory, okay? So make sure that you're reviewing a lot of these chapters and these charts and the different theories that are involved. This is very important for your quiz. Also, the differences in memory. Woo, excuse me. So make sure that you are aware of the different types of memory. Hello, Kennedy. Just make sure that you know the differences in memory, and that also is another important element for your quiz. Okay, sorry if I'm choking up, but pollen. I'm so allergic to pollen. All right. So we talk about recall. Now, it's not only just important for you to remember these terms for your quiz that is coming up sometime this week. I don't remember if it's tomorrow or Wednesday, but it should be already embedded in there, should be automatic. But not only are these terms important for your quiz, but they're also important, especially if you are going into working maybe with adult athletes or you're going into physical therapy. It's so important for you to know what are the stages of development, what stage of development that individual is within, for you to be able to pre-plan different activities that help develop motor skills or refine motor skills, and also just to see what stage in life that individual is. It can also determine chronological age where that person is, and it'll kind of give you a gauge of how to kind of create a treatment plan once you understand these concepts of development in adulthood. Now, it's always about recall, right? So our muscles are the best piece in terms of helping us with recall. Okay. Once you practice, say, for example, we know how to, well, not we, I don't want to assume, most of us know how to do a deadlift, right? So once you constantly practice how to do a deadlift, we know for the most part it is a good full body workout because of the areas that you're engaging during a deadlift. But what we mostly know deadlifts for it to do is for it to be a great glute and hamstring workout. So oftentimes, personal trainers or different fitness enthusiasts rather, they like to create diagrams and different pictures that help you kind of give you a form of grouping terms. Okay, I will say this, one of the things that I constantly remember about a deadlift is that as you are going downward in your deadlift, okay, as you go down, your backside goes back. It's a hinge move. And how I always remember that hinge move is that you want to pretend your backside is hitting a car door to shut it, not just move it, but you want to shut the car door in your hinge as you hinge back in your hips to force your glutes to go back. So those are one of the things that I've always remember about a deadlift. Okay. So you want to think of a particular activity always that helps you recall things, all right? That helps you to never forget, okay, this is what I need to do during this particular activity. So recall is very important for adults, all right? I want you to think to yourself, you ain't got to participate, I promise. I want you to think to yourself one thing that you recall that helps you for a particular exercise. And those, like I said, those aspects are important as far as our adult learners or for adults who might be, if you're going into occupational therapy or you're going into physical therapy, those things are important to know as far as as far as adults learn and that type of thing. Do I have any questions, comments, or concerns? Now, in the chat, you can let me know in the chat, what is one thing as far as exercise is concerned that helps you remember how to do a particular exercise correctly? Like I said, how I always remember how to do a deadlift correctly. When you push your butt back, you want to push it back in a hinge to remember you want to shut the car door. So tell me one thing as far as exercise is concerned that helps you remember to do a particular exercise. Let me know in the chat, or it's only 3 of us, so you could easily just unmute yourself and tell me what is one thing that helps you remember how to do a particular exercise. Don't be shy.
Okay, so I say if I was doing a deadlift and I'm trying to, muscle memory, but for example, if I did it correctly the first time, I would try to redo the same thing. Or if I messed up, I'll try to remember what I did wrong so I can improve it.
Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. And I'm glad you said that, because what I do, as vain as it is, so y'all seen all these exercise videos on social media, right? You've seen them, right? So for me, and you want to think about why there's always so many mirrors in the gym, right? So people always talk about, oh, I don't want to see a mirror in the gym and all this other stuff. I don't want to look at myself. Actually, you should really look at yourself when you're working out, because you want to ensure that your body is in the correct movement that it should be. Like Kennedy said, it's all about muscle memory. If you do that thing right, you always want to analyze yourself, or when you embed it in your mind, where it's like, okay, am I doing this right? Does it feel right? Does it look right? That's when you look up at a mirror, right? So anytime that you're working out and you're in the mirror and you're thinking, oh man, this is too many mirrors in here, I can't look at this, think about why there is a mirror there. It's to guide you, to let you know if you're doing something right or wrong. Yeah, it doesn't, yeah, knock yourself out, look good in your women's best or your gym sharks and all the other stuff, because I got all that too. Okay. But it's so important. These mirrors are up there for a legit reason, because they are to serve as a guide to ensure that, you are activating muscle memory, like Kennedy mentioned. So, and also I want you to be mindful of things like social support. I'm glad this is up here, because social support is so beneficial in terms of motor learning and development, especially when you're learning how to refine a particular skill. Right. So, for example, we're all ladies in here, so I think I can confidently say this. Oftentimes, I grew up, old school parents, well, old school mom, who said that women shouldn't be out here lifting no weights, right? And I think I've mentioned this before, but it's that mentality of, women shouldn't be lifting, women shouldn't be doing this. In fact, ever since I've been in this profession, I have read so many studies that weight training is so beneficial for women, especially when we get older. Okay. It is. And I say this now, and I will preach this until I am 90. Okay. If you are not involved in a weight training program, please get involved in it now. Please. And it is, and I've had a few clients that said, well, I don't want to get bulky. I don't want to get beefy. The reason why women, we tend to get bulky and beefy from weight training, or that's just anybody, not even just women, but anybody, is because our diets are poor. Okay. So when the diets are poor and you're not aware of your macronutrients and you're not aware of your maintenance calories and you're not aware of different factors that could be fluctuating your weight. Like I said, being mindful as women, my weight fluctuates. Why? Because I still get a cycle. So I retain water. So, those are things to just be mindful of when you are weight training, and you can figure out your triggers like, okay, well, I am holding water, so I'm gonna be gentle on myself. I'm gonna be good to myself. So those are things that we just need to be mindful of, especially coming from a world or family or group of family members that say, oh, women shouldn't be bulking up and women shouldn't be lifting weights. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I am 37 years old, and really, I have been changing up my weight training program and focusing on getting stronger. I lie to you not. I feel probably the healthiest I've ever been since I was probably like 21. Okay. So that says a lot. So definitely get involved in a strength training program, but it's important for you to surround yourself around a community of other like-minded people who support that, So I can't wait until we get back on campus where it's a gym full of us sisters in there working it out, lifting these weights and looking good and trying to be hot girls for the summer. You feel me? So those are things that are just so important. All right. So social support plays a major role. And ageism, where I just said that I was 37, sometimes back when I was in my 20s, I would think, oh man, 37, this is it, man. They finna be 40. It's no more life for them. You know what I'm saying? It can have a negative impact, especially let's say you're working with clients, right? You're working with clients and they're 50 years old and they already got a host of issues, but they're still alive. They're still on their 2 feet. You don't want to discount them if they still on their 2 feet. So it's so important for you to be mindful of those things. And as far as social support is concerned, sometimes for that 50-year-old who might be your patient, you might be their only support system. So it's so important for you to be mindful of those things. And if they see you, one of you guys, which I know one of you guys will kill it, one of you guys being a future physical therapist or future personal trainer or future coach, and they see you killing it, you know what I'm saying? They see you killing it. Oh, that's going to motivate them to kill it too. Okay. So just be very mindful. You are probably their only social support. So important. All right. So when we scrolling back to barriers of exercise for different adults, you know, these are the things that play a major role. Like I said, with me being someone who works all the time, and then me being someone who is working on my own professional development as I try to wrap up my dissertation, like these are the things that barriers that I go through where there's time constraints. So what I've done to mitigate that barrier is that I joined a 24-hour gym in Lexington. Okay. So because sometimes I had a full day at work, but I know I got games I got to get right. So guess what? I have been in the gym at 11 o'clock at night. Okay. Because I got goals, you know? So those are the things that you want to be mindful of. It may not always be that way for somebody else. So you have to figure out, in a form of social support, you have to figure out what are some of the ways that you can mitigate those barriers for both exercisers and non-exercisers. Like I said, social support is everything. So that's the reason why, you know, it's always so good to assess yourself and see what's going on with yourself in terms of being able to create treatment plans and fitness plans to help somebody else, right? That's so important. All right. So, just in a nutshell, I don't want to go too deep into it. These are different terms. Basically, the figures on chapter 13.1 are pieces from your quiz. Now, I will close out 13. Did I open up? I think I only just opened up chapter 12 or 13 rather. Excuse me. Oh, well. But what I will do is that I will switch out one of these chapters because it's supposed to be 12 and not 13. So you got two 13s up. But what I will do is I'll switch out chapter 12. Make sure you take a look at your charts on chapter 12 to see, you know, just to get a review for your quiz. Now, off the top of my head, your quiz is Wednesday. That's what I'm going to assume because I believe I set it up for Wednesday. You do have 2 attempts. Use those 2 attempts. Hint, 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 hint. Okay. Use those 2 attempts so you could do well on your quiz. Now, at any given moment, you need extra time on your quiz. All you got to do is send me a message through the Remind app. Miss Nesbitt, I need extra time on my quiz. It's fine. Okay. So I will extend some time for you to, you know, get your quiz done, that type of thing. Okay. So that's pretty much it. I tried to be quick and short and concise with this stuff. I know some of y'all trying to go to practice, take naps, get lunch, do schoolwork, go to work. I get it. So I won't hold you up too long with these Zoom lectures. And sometimes these Zoom lectures be fatiguing. So I get it. But just so you know, next Monday, there is no Zoom lecture. So definitely try to find, most places in the United States observe Easter Monday. Me being from North Carolina, it's Easter Monday. So naturally, I'm already like the Monday after Easter, I'm already in chill mode. So, but as a result, I will not give you guys any lecture by me on Monday. Okay. Do you have any questions for me before I wrap this thing up? You can shake your head no, or you could put no in the chat. All right, cool. So you ladies have a fantastic weekend. Try to get some rest. And if I don't talk to you between now and next week, you guys have a fantastic Easter weekend. Okay, chat soon.